Hey guys, Kevpert here. Today we're covering rebounds. It's a fundamental skill that at the pros accounts for about 10 to 15% of goals. At lower levels, that'll be even higher because you won't have as many advanced saves or proficient back wall defense. As defenses improve, there's this need for extra power and accuracy, and there's one player that stands out in that regard, and that's Monkey Moon on Team BDS. He often gets tremendous power and accuracy, and his aerials tend to be really efficient. Barely any adjustments, just simple wall reads, fast aerials, minimal aerial, and he knows how to get power using the corners of his hitbox. With rebounds, there is a common mistake I see, even at the SSL level, which is top 0.01% of players. That mistake is not pointing the card to the net, even when they have loads of time. So players will fly into the corner instead of lining up an easy shot, and they're looking for some insane redirect. That's not what pros do. Given time, they're going to make an adjustment on the ground, point their car more towards net, and then make the finish. On this example, notice how instead of facing into the corner, I'm just outside of the post, and that makes for a more consistent finish. And then I have more of the goal to aim at rather than just the sliver of near post that you can do when you're flying into the corner. It's a simple adjustment. If you have time, line up an easier shot. So, like all of my training packs, this is going to use Bakkesmod bindings. So if you're on PC, you want to click on your Bakkesmod injector, click File, open Bakkesmod folder, and then we're going to click on the CFG folder and open up binds.cfg and make sure you open it in Notepad. We're going to take the codes that are in the description of this video, they're called Bakkesmod bindings, and we're just going to Control C, Control V, and paste them in here. And we're going to hit File, Save, and close out. Next, you'll want to relaunch your game. Once you're in your game, we're going to hit F2, we're going to go to the Bindings tab, and you should see these codes for like F11, F12, these have been populated. Next, we'll go to the Custom Training tab. Make sure you turn this on, Enable Custom Training Variants, and I would also recommend turning on Enable Automatic Mirroring. So let's close out that. Let's hit F11 on our keyboard, and you should see our boost is updated to 85 boost. If we hit F12 and we do the same, it's 65 boost. Now all we have left is just putting the training codes from the description of this video and pasting them into the browse feature. So I'm just going to pull mine from favorites, and we'll take Rebounds 1 F12 since this is the first pack we're going to do, and we're going to go to browse, hit enter code, just paste it in here, and there we go. So make sure you do that for the other pack as well, and we'll get started. So let's use this first shot to show a beginner, intermediate, and advanced approach to training. If you're a beginner and you need to work on your wall reads a little bit, just feather your boost, float in the air, take your time with the wall read, and get familiar with it. If you're more of an intermediate player, maybe you're high diamonds, the champion range, I would recommend mixing in some aerial and doing one boost adjustment. So that's where you jump up in the air, you let go of boost, there's that pause, and then you use boost and some aerial to make the finish. And for your Grand Champs to SSLs, you want to be holding boost and going as fast as possible. Everything is going to be optimized, fast aerials, aerial adjustments, precision, what have you. Usually when I go into shot demonstrations, I make a few comments here and there, but there's not really much to say about this pack in particular. These are all pretty straightforward finishes. What you can do is you can use the beginner, intermediate, and advanced approach to cater the shots to your skill level, and you want to eventually pull yourself up to that advanced level. But mostly you're going to be working on consistency and your technique. Now, this is something I've worked with SSLs and even had the privilege to work with a few RLCS pros to work on their sharpness. It's not necessarily about improving their finishing at that level. It's about getting reps up so that they're confident, not hesitating or overthinking their finishes. At the top level, a lot of finishing comes down to accuracy, composure, instinct, quick reactions, and awareness. If you put those together, you have clinical finishing. So a lot of the work I do with high-level players is make sure they're just practicing their technique, they're getting the reps up, they have all these mental images of them succeeding, and then when it comes down to that 1 or 2 moments in a game, they're just putting the shots away. So a common question you might have is, how much should I practice rebounds and striking each day? I think literally just 5 to 10 minutes is more than enough. You can even mirror and shuffle the shots using psionics bindings that have been added into the game. That's just going to be in your control change binding section. If you face a bunch of random shots, you're going to have tons of mental images of you succeeding, and you'll find it easier to adapt to that random shot you get in a match. But let's say you're practicing and you find out you have legitimate holes in your car control. Like you're noticing when you air roll upside down or you're sideways, you just have blackout moments. In that case, I wouldn't recommend working on rebounds over and over. I think you'd be better served working on car control drills and workshop maps, because it's more targeted training, and therefore gets you more repetitions on something you're weak at. Then when you come back to striking your rebounds, you'll find it's a lot easier. That's training with efficiency in mind, making the best use of your time. Another thing you might notice you're weak on is your wall reads. There's a couple ways to approach this. The first is just getting the reps in and staying sharp. For me, I usually need to work on rebounds or back wall defense once or twice a week for 5 minutes each. And then from there, I'm just nice and confident. I know that I can sink those shots if I need to. The second thing is remove hesitation in your rebounds. Just go as fast as possible. Make that quick read, make that quick adjustment, and then go for the shot. That'll translate more into game situations rather than taking it slow. And I think the hallmark of that taking it slow approach is waiting for the ball to hit the backboard and then aerialing. Practice pre-jumping and going as fast as possible and sinking the shot. We're moving on to pack 2. This is low rebounds and it's going to be using F11, so you should have 85 boost and a little lower starting momentum. This pack is going to be a lot harder than the previous one. There's a lot of tight angle shots, quick reads, generating power without a lot of starting momentum. It's actually pretty good training for 2s. If you think about it, as a second man, you're in this hybrid role of being a cautious last man but also supporting for the shot. So you're not always position facing forward, ready to strike the ball. You might be in a defensive sideways stance and have to do a quick turn and finish. So these 2 packs are in the striking and rebounds playlist, which is on my home page, and that's sitting at 250 shots. I think that's in a good spot for now, so I can start to focus on other mechanics. There's a lot more packs to push out, especially with more advanced techniques like wall stops and dodge control, but I did want to focus on fundamentals first. That's because when it comes to your overall training plan, striking and rebounds is going to be a mainstay, and is probably going to take up that last 5-10 minutes before you hop into competitive play. Say you have an hour, it might look like 30 minutes of car control, 10 minutes of dodge control, 10 minutes of flip resets, and then 10 minutes of your striking and rebounds. At least that's how I like to do it. So I'm going to wrap up this video and just going to let the video play out to some nice music made by Yan Beats, a very talented childhood friend of mine. If you do enjoy the music, then just throw him a subscription or a like on his videos. I'm sure it would help him out a lot as he's a fledgling channel. If there's a particular video you'd like to see, just let me know in the comments. I'm always looking for new ideas, and some comments have provided me with great ideas in the past. Have a good one, and peace out.